So we're talking kicks as we said, so we'll get right on into some video. To score a field goal, the ball has to, of course, go above the crossbar, between the uprights, and stay beyond and be declared dead there, right? So we're going to take a look at this.
So what you just said, all right. If it goes through the crossbar and the wind blow it back, it's no good.
Can we confirm that?
I think it's good.
It's good.
Is it good? So as long as it,
It's plain.
When the wind blows it back,
It's plain.
it's a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a point.
I thought you said it has to go through and stay through.
that's what I said. That's the clarification from Doug. If it goes through, if it crosses in between and over, it's a plane and it's good.
It hits that upright at the top, breaks the plane, and it never goes through. So it can't be it can't be a plane.
But it didn't go through.
This crossbar. I was driving and so on. It's crossed that plane.
The guy can pull it all the way across. You gotta cross the plate, then go across.
Yeah.
The whole ball, yeah.
Plane.
But that's no good.
I'm good, I'm good.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
So we can
If the wind blows back, we're still talking. We're still talking good.
well, what we're saying. Yep. So this one here, ruling on the field is you're going to see in a minute from these two people under the uprights that it's good. But watch the flight of the ball, and we'll get another replay on it.
Miss.
Whoa.
That means it didn't go.
No, it was only,
It should be a miss.
I don't know.
So we get another view, and it looks like it's squarely over that upright.
Let's look.
This view.
That's no good.
So it's no good, right? And you're the only person down at Wagner Sally or RSM that's gonna know that. So you gotta have the courage, cojones, to call it no good. If this is a game-winning field goal, you're probably gonna get rocks and stuff thrown at your car if you call this no good, right? Yeah. Speaking of stones, yeah. So got to go over in between, right? And if I guess the case play says if the wind blows it back after it's gone over, still good. Scrimmage kick. So K may punt, drop kick, place kick, enter behind the neutral zone. They may advance, recovered, or caught kick, enter behind the neutral zone. That excludes a try. We talked about this in probably both of the previous meetings where that's gonna be a test question. R may advance, recovered, caught kick anywhere in the field of play, excludes a try. And touching the low scrimmage kick is ignored, in or behind the expanded neutral zone. And what that allows for potential blocking or batting of a kick attempt, right? All right. Kick near the line of scrimmage. So who's responsible for knowing whether the kick crosses the neutral zone? Linesman. It's because once we see the kick is away, the line judge is going to vacate his area and go help out the back judge potentially, right? And I watched this on my phone a couple times. I couldn't see either. But I think we just want to drive the point home. And we got of course, the linesman over there. He's got a forward behind him, and he's got feet in cement, right? I mean, I guess that you would say that if this guy's clearly a potential kicker, they were in a scrimmage kick formation. From what we could tell, he's 10 or more yards back, and guy stays put. Again, we talked about for your own safety concerns over there. In this case, you know that you got to be feet in cement, but you need to back out if you feel threatened there, which he wasn't exactly threatened. I think guy cut it up right when he got to the numbers, but so safety's paramount, but don't be quick to bail. talked about expanded neutral zone that's been on every slide deck over the past couple of weeks, but it may be expanded maximum of 2 yards behind the defensive line of scrimmage in the field of play during any scrimmage down. Scrimmage kick occurs in neutral zone shall not be expanded into the end zone. Again, scrimmage kick during the scrimmage kick neutral zone not expanded in the end zone. But it is a rule change or editorial change this year. Is that right? With the neutral zone being extended. On scrimmage downs, so non scrimmage kick downs, it expands into the end zone to allow for I always thought that rule was screwy. Like how if it doesn't expand, A is totally totally prohibited from leaking into the end zone at all. If not, that's a foul, whether or not they go the 2 yards or not. Kicker, the big long definitions, but any player who legally punts, drop kicks, or place kicks. Talk about the definition. It's intentional kicking to the ball with knee, lower leg, or foot. Continues to be the kicker until he's had a reasonable opportunity to regain his balance, or on a free kick, he's gone 5 yards beyond his free kick line, and the kick has touched the ground or any other player, or the kick has touched the ground. Holder controls the ball on the ground or on a kicking tee. So it doesn't say anything about his knee there. You can be a holder without having your knee on the ground, but when we talk about the definition of scrimmage kick formation, which we'll get to in a minute, why does that matter? One,
He has to have a knee.
exactly. So we'll get there and we'll talk about the definition, but that's basically it. So we're talking about you may not use numbering exceptions if you're not in the scrimmage kick formation, right? So if he doesn't have his knee on the ground, you got to have 550 through 79, as well as roughing the snapper considerations. And so the snapper remains a snapper till he's had a reasonable opportunity to protect himself. Umpires, I don't know what your train of thought is there, whether or not it's a one Mississippi, or whether he gets his head up, or whether he starts going downfield. All those things could be things that you think about. So Holder, when I always think back to LSU, and I believe it was Les Miles coaching them at the time when they came to South Carolina, and the Holder's got his knee on the ground and he does behind the back pass. We're going to see one where I believe it's an FCS game where the guy just throws it forward to a potential receiver crossing behind the formation. But what's allowed, he can catch the snap, rise, run, hand, kick, or pass, and that's with when he's got his knee off the ground. He can catch or recover an errant snap. That's important. The words in red, with the knee off the ground, then return. So if his buddy, the snapper, screws him and he's got to reach this way or that way, bat it, get it and bring it back down, he's allowed to do that, bringing his knee off the ground and putting it back down, which we know otherwise on any other run-of-the-mill scrimmage play that would become the ball, make the ball become dead. Not allowed pass or hand with the knee on the ground. Also not allowed recovering a muff or fumbled good snap with the knee off the ground, then return to the ground. Here's that play. So watch the holder. We just get a little shovel pass, right?
College, they can do that. Can't do it.
So Brian, he can catch the ball with his knee on the ground. But if he decides to hand it or pass it, he must rise. But he can still catch it with his knee on the ground.
Yep, sure.
And he only has to get his knee off the ground, doesn't have to stand completely
Right,
up.
the knee has to come off
Just
the
have to get his
ground
knee off the
to
ground.
pitch it or pass it. Or hand.
No, that is. Right, you start with.
Yeah, so don't be nitpicky with that. If his knees, because we see some of these linemen especially in the middle school, the ones that aren't maybe as fit or highly tuned athletes yet, who just kind of have the hand hovering near the ground. And so, use your best judgment whether or not you think it's an intent to deceive and start throwing illegal formations and non SKF qualifiers. Yep.
Situation we were just talking about where he's got his knee on the ground, takes a snap, doesn't come up off his knee, but he throws behind him or he throws a pass. What is the penalty?
So there's no foul. Ball's just dead.
Just no foul, just ball dead.
Yep. And I was thinking that meant to say it. That's great point. Yep.
So ball's dead.
Yep. DRT, just blow it dead. And good question. So
Fourth down, change possession. It's dead, right?
yep. So we take the results of the play, and if it turned out to be a change, we'd give it to R or B. All right, roughing the holder. Looks like his knee's on the ground. He looks like a holder to me. And even if he didn't have his knee on the ground here, if all the other stuff about the formation checked out, he can still be roughed, right? He's in a compromised position. He's still a holder. And he got mashed, right? So that's I think that's a clear roughing the holder. Result of the play, unsuccessful try or whatever this is. So yeah, he doesn't try to block the kick, and not saying toss people, but Dennis and I we worked those Palmetto prep games for a while. I had almost this exact play happen where the guy just didn't. He had no intention of doing anything, just mashes the friggin' holder, and Dennis tossed him. And if you think there's enough malice or intent there, if they not trying to block it, could maybe potentially have a flagrant personal foul because he's in a very susceptible position here.
It looks like the kid, from the defender's standpoint, it looks like the kid's about to run with it. Because he comes both feet off the ground like he's gonna run. It looks like he's just trying to tackle him. Because he just ran in there and hit him.
And that's judgment too, right?
Yeah.
Is the snap errant?
But yeah, man,
That's tad high, but
he went completely up on both feet like he was gonna run.
That boy's gonna wipe him out anyway.
scrimmage kick formation, place kick. So we know the qualifiers here. So two things on a place kick: need to have a kicker 7 or more yards, a holder 3 or less yards, right? And a punt, K players 10 or more yards behind the line of scrimmage, in position to catch the snap. And we know that with these quick kicks and stuff where they might just be in a shotgun or a pistol and the quarterback gets it, they do not have to be in a scrimmage kick formation and SKF to punt it. So let's assess the formation here. Yep. So snapper's not protected. That's one thing that means. And now if you see that and I don't believe you do any coaching here. If that's how he wants to come on out and do it, you need to start scanning for your legal numbers on line of scrimmage, right? That's what we say. So if he's got his knee up, make sure you got 5 big bodies in there, which looks like they do. Checking those behinds. Yeah, that's.
See, that is the referee. That umpire in the background is not gonna see if his knee's on the ground. Guy runs directly into him. He's gonna throw his flag and then they have to get together. Oh, really and truly in that situation, the only one's gonna see that maybe the linesman and definitely the referee.
And umpire doesn't be looking for that. You're not trying to look through. You're trying to get eyes on the snap, thinking about your snapper the whole time. So, yeah, there's a couple of flags that could be thrown. I guess when you'd say throw it, meaning a roughing the snapper potentially. Yep.
Umpire's gonna have to throw it and then the referee or whoever will have to get together and talk about it.
Well, umpires on fourth down, and I tell my crew all the time, this fourth down, you get through three very difficult downs, um, or it could just be three incomplete passes in a row with no skin off your back, and you're even less aware and focused at that point. All right, they're going to punt it, and that's when teams will come out and try and screw you and be in bad formations or not have right numbers or whatever. But umpires just implore you and the whole rest of the crew, do not take fourth down off, because you're gonna have the play of the season that's gonna kick you the rest of the time, just because you lost focus there. So go through your pre-snap routine the whole time, umpires. And I think I started to ask a question but didn't finish it. So even on fourth down, are you checking your 5 53-79s? Any of the U's in here, making sure that the numbering requirements are otherwise legal? Yeah, if not, start, because your referee, if he sees this, he might come to you with a question post play, and it's fine to drop the flag post play, right? If you how far back is he there? Anybody take stock of that? 8 yards. And we would say, hate to disparage Wagner Sally all the time, right? We say if he's a good 9 at Wagner Sally or RSM, well, that's a scrimmage kick formation, right? But he's an 8 on the dot, and it's just not there. He can still kick it though, but it's
What about was going formation, C short, his knee was the.
if they don't have good numbers. So if he's short, it's not a scrimmage kick formation. They've got to have 5 53-79.
Right.
And yep,
Not rough.
But if all the numbers are good, 50-79.
it's a nothing.
Then. Is there a foul for that?
For him? No. Because in theory, he could be 5 yards back in the shotgun formation and kick it, but there's just no protections.
He still gets protected as the punter though.
Yeah.
Right.
He's still the punter.
So we got an R return here, and what appears to be an illegal blindside block, right? So let's just sort it out. We're not doing Rule 10, but we can talk about enforcement, because that slide deck is coming probably next week. So boom, foul at the 45, and the run ends 45, 46. So you just got to, that's important when there's 2 flags on the ground. Obviously, get with your buddy, see that you've got the same thing.
He's not down upon receiving that ball.
It looked like his knees were off.
Yeah, I think he stood up for it.
Stood up before he picked the ball up. Oh. You right there, we got picked up.
And it wouldn't be PSK, right? Because
Run into it. Or the kick ended.
during the return, right? Yep. That action was clearly 8-10 seconds after the kick ended. Return is happening, and we would just go use 3 and 1 at that point, or all but 1 rather. So you can see the title of the video here, and yep, NFHS book explicitly defines the scrimmage kick formation. Doesn't say that no player may be in the path, but it does say that, which, semantically, it says you need a player 10 or more yards back in a position to catch a kick. And I would argue that if somebody is directly in that path and impeding a snap to him, is he in a position to catch a snap? Anyway, I digress, but the book says outright that you may not have somebody under the snapper and it still be a legal scrimmage kick formation. That's what we're calling this here. We'll just say use your imagination and say that number 34 or whatever he is. So not a scrimmage kick formation, eyes going to the lineman, right? And even on the, what we got, 38, 40 something.
Big
Uh, One big guy, maybe two big guys, but the rest are not so. So,
You're saying that you couldn't use the number of exception in that situation.
yep, if you got a guy up there with
Yeah.
with his hands at or near the the snapper to receive a hand-to-hand snap.
So. The 10 yards, that only pertains to whether or not the formation is legal for the numbering on the line of scrimmage.
And protecting the snap.
And protecting the snap. Otherwise, he can do whatever he wants with that ball, if their numbers are legal.
Yep, yeah.
In this situation, the guy's not, he's in the way to receive the kick.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
the numbering exception, it's like he doesn't have enough 50 to 79 on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he could put, like it was 4th down. They couldn't all be numbered, 1 to 49 or whatever,
Only with that guy's position.
off to the right or the left.
Yep, we move him either way, and this is good, right? This is
Yeah.
exactly what we want. This guy can motion, especially if he started in the backfield.
You let that play out. Live ball.
Yep,
Yeah, that is.
5 yards, previous spot if they take. And they can decline that penalty, right?
See,
You wait, watch you. That was behind the snapper.
Apparently there was no flag. Can you do it in college? Is that legal in college?
no, now you may not have a nobody may be in the clear path to the kicker.
So when this was done, they could.
But it's really, but I think they missed it here. Even this probably made the training tape, and it said, this is obviously not a scrimmage kick formation because it's apparent they're not going to kick it. You got somebody that's standing there, literally going to take the snap. There's no other way he couldn't. We good there? All right. Why scrimmage kick formation important? Numbering exception. We've talked about it on every slide. So first, second, and third down, only the snapper may be subbed. You may not use the full, the wholesale numbering exception swap. And if you do sub the snapper for like a late second field goal at the half on a second or third down, he's got to be between the ends. He can't be on the end of the line. And yep. So that is,
Claim the same responsibilities before the shift, or the same numbering exception before the shift.
yep. So once the snapper has addressed the ball or put his hands on the ball, so to speak, now in the rule, in black and white, they're locked. And yep. But
So if you have 5 players numbered correctly in a numbering situation, but the snapper is on the end, like in, is that legal? Is he a legal receiver at that point in time?
Yeah.
Right?
He's got no.
Back to-
Correct. Yes, he did that.
Yep. He said, to say if you got good numbers all the way through, then I would say you do whatever you want.
Yeah, if he has an eligible.
As long as you're not using
It's
the
an eligible
exception.
He could be eligible on first down. You could do that on first down.
First, second, third down, one formation.
Oh, and that's for.
If you have good numbers, that's somebody threw that caveat in there. So if you got 550 through 79, the snapper can be wherever he wants. Yeah. Except in the side zone, right? We gotta. All right, roughing the snapper. Take a look. What's it? It may not charge directly into the snapper until he's had what we were talking about earlier. Opportunity to gain his balance and
That's option, penalty, right? Yeah.
yep, did they was it good?
No, they
They can take points off more than first down 15 yards, right?
Sure.
Or they can give up points and forget about
Yep. And we can take the they can take the foul on the ensuing on the succeeding spot right here. It's especially a personal foul. It's a great play. I was on this. So it's a yeah, so these backs, I mean, again, the book NFHS book only talks about somebody being in position to receive a hand-to-hand snap that would disqualify this from a scrimmage kick formation. So we'll say that it is. Um, they don't have to have good numbers, but who's eligible here? Him, him, and these, right? So your maximum of 6 when the down starts.
Yeah, something else comes downfield.
Yeah, a couple. Just take a look at the middle of the line and see.
Pull downfield.
Yep. So we've got a legal forward pass. The kicker, the prospective kicker, you can pass it, right? Kick it. If it gets blocking, pick it up and kick it again. So this is at minimum. So we've got a double, rather a multiple foul here by the offense. We've got what starts out as IDP, ineligible downfield player. Don't know who to potentially could have illegal touching as well if one of these interior guys was the one that called it. Don't think it was, so a saving grace there. We didn't miss 2 fouls on this freaking down, but yeah, to add insult to injury, this is maybe my first year as a referee, and yeah. But I think like before, what so you see me come up behind the play here. There's some laundry somewhere. There it is. Because I basically ran by the coach who was out, past the numbers or whatever, and he saw those 18 players ineligible downfield and was wondering what was going on. And certainly a coach that had not been not said anything to me all night, and we get a screwy play like this that results in a touchdown, maybe could have held on to that one a little bit and walked him back. The things that we say, been pragmatic and all right, what's your deal? He's like, oh, if it's not making any sense and he just wants to yell, but he had a point here, and maybe I could have listened and not got on the mic and said unsportsmanlike conduct on the head coach for whatever school it was. Yeah, league office called on Monday morning. Y'all have heard this story, so it's not good all the way around, and nobody. If I would have gone over and listened maybe a little bit, maybe we could have got this sorted out. But instead, I was, took it on the chin. Oh, all right. Let's peep the formation. He is exactly 10 yards, right, or a little bit more, like 11. And so all those guys, they do not look like linemen, but that's fine. So he gathers, and what are we thinking now? He's either going to try to get to the sideline. Has he made it out of the lateral edge of the free blocking zone? Not sure when this was taken, when this game was played, but Line of scrimmage is the 10, the 11 rather. Yeah. So he's right there. Outside the lateral edge of free blocking zone, got well beyond the neutral zone or neutral zone extended. No foul here, right? Just incomplete pass. And whatever this
Well, provided those guys down. Arnie knows what to do.
didn't check those that they released too. That was the snapper, right? He's 50 yards downfield. So
I would imagine that.
and that's one.
Decline that if that was fourth down.
Don't even ask there. If it's the one foul, B's going to get it 1st and 10 or rather. Yeah, this announce it, bang it, move on. So awarding a new series for K. K advances a caught, recovered kick, enter behind the neutral zone, goes past the line to gain. So it's blocked. K picks it up behind the enter behind the neutral zone, which they can. They run it beyond the line to gain. First down for K, right? R touches kick beyond expanded neutral zone and K recovers. That's the oh crap moment. We get a muffed kick, or it just touches R, who's hasn't been blocked into it. It's going to be a first down for somebody, as we say. And if K gets it beyond, it's dead DRT. But K's going to get a new series. New series for R. K possesses kick beyond the line of scrimmage prior to R touching the kick. So, as we said, that's dead. K first touching, R does not lose right. So if R gains possession and they foul thereafter, that would cause them to lose the right. Right. Joint possession. Talked about that. Kick out of bounds. No one possessed it after ball, and a PSK foul occurs. So K possession, enter behind the expanded neutral zone, ball remains live. K can run, pass, or kick. They can kick it as many times as they want. I think there's a case play like that. They can only all the passing parameters still remain though. Can only have one forward legal forward pass turn the down. And beyond the expanded neutral zone, ball becomes dead if they catch or recover. And K catches scrimmage kick. Could be kick catch interference, right? There's nothing that says if they catch a ball in flight, it has to be an R receiver who's making a bona fide attempt to play the ball. Block kick. So on a try, as soon as it's apparent the kick try is not going to score, it's dead. Right, down's over. On a field goal, it's different, right? That's the rolling fist mechanic. This is a scrimmage kick though, so if we are going to let it roll around like they do here, we'll just pretend that this is a field goal. All the rules pertaining to scrimmage kicks are going to apply, right? So if that crosses
We blocked it. How did they get 7 points?
well, it's not a touchdown, right? It's a kick. If it goes in R's end zone, then it's dead. All right, 4th down, apparent field goal attempt. What do we think? Newcomer, can K advance? Said it's 4th down, right? So we're going to let it roll around. I think that possession, recovery, catch, whatever it was, clearly behind the line of scrimmage, enter behind the neutral zone rather. So White's leaving with a big W. Big old play. All right, K advancing block punt. So we see a potential blocker there. A lot of contact on that kicker, huh? So if they touch the ball, you still may not unnecessarily charge into the kicker, and that's a judgment call by the referees. But if it's all in the same action and it was a bona fide attempt to block the kick, and he goes into him, it's no harm, no foul. And it's picked up clearly, enter behind the neutral zone. K may advance. Is that a scrimmage kick formation? That's an ABA, right? So devoid of any fouls or anything, we'd have a ready 40 with A coming back with the football. Actually, it was a scrimmage kick, so we'd have a 25-second clock. Now we have a foul, so we talked about the sideline interference with contact, unintentional contact with an official in the white or the team area. It's going to be a live ball and forces a dead ball foul, right? It's one of those non-player fouls, and the results of the play is going to stand. It's just going to be a succeeding spot foul. Is probably what they said. This, though, is just a sideline warning. Maybe after discussion, that's what they went with. But even if they did go 15 for running into an assistant or the head coach or whatnot, we take the results of the play, tack on the foul whichever way, and go from there. Yep. Mm. Was that his intention? I don't think so. But dang, if he didn't get off a good, what appears to be a legal drop kick there, I guess. So he muffed it, appeared to pick it up, and as it's hitting the ground, he's able to get a foot on it. And he kicked it. So if he muffs it,
Like he recovered it and then dropped it and kicked it right as he was down.
so he did kick it. So you can use a drop kick anytime a kick is prescribed, right? Anytime, whether it's a free kick after safety, a field goal scoring attempt, and so on. So this, all the rules pertaining to scrimmage kicks apply. This cross the neutral zone. If R touches it, then it's a scramble and it's anybody's football, right? First down for anybody, somebody. So let's say he muffs it, doesn't ever gather it again, and kicks it off the ground in the end zone downfield just like this.
That's a problem.
It's a problem. That's right. Illegal kicking, as we said. Yeah. Kicking the ball off the ground, illegal kicking. That's a foul that occurs in their end zone. Yep. Adjudication of the penalty would be a safety. Yeah, we'll move on. Can't really see. Rule of thumb, it's not written anywhere, but this, I think, prevailing national standard is contact with non-plant leg is running, even if you run through it pretty good. If he's got it hanging out there, as a lot of them do now, and you run through it. I've seen some that got supported even at the highest level that dude does a friggin' helicopter and lands ends up on his head. But contact with the plant leg, forcible contact, that is you would certainly consider roughing. Forcible contact, kicking leg. Yep. Because that's the leg that's going to be hanging out there, and it's
That's good, kind of like
The rule of thumb.
the rule.
Yeah,
I mean, but it could be running into that kicking leg, it still could be rough.
sure. Running into it again, and so use your judgment. If you see somebody helicopter and laying on their head, you would think it, but contact with neither leg, if you've got forcible contact to the body, then you're thinking personal foul, roughing at that point. The plant leg is not the end all be all either. But yeah, just use those things as you move forward.
Oh, that hurt me. Oh.
Then leave that board. Yeah.
Right to him, like he's happy he did it.
Pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I got him.
Don't hit him, right? The layering that, I think it's the ACC. Throw it in, find a quiet area for your flag, because that in the backfield, you can throw it behind you. It's going to be a previous spot foul, and it doesn't need to be anywhere near the players. Yeah, I think if you've run referee for any amount of time, you've had one like this where somebody they make a bona fide attempt to block, and they slide into one leg or the other. That happens to be the kicking leg that actually hit first, I think, and then just gets the and I think the brunt of the contact is on that kicking leg. I would.
Yeah, well, they get a piece of the ball, then you got nothing.
Especially in this case, like I don't know what what they ruled that second on the vignette appeared to be running into. That one for show is roughing. Roughing the kicker, question mark. Uh-oh.
That's a bad call there. That's a bad call.
So what the rule of thumb here, I just just riffing now. Rule is does the defender have a reasonable opportunity to assess that he's a runner or a kicker?
Let's see. This is a trouble.
Cause he's running with the ball as the guy goes to tackle him, then he kicks it at the last second. That's just a terrible.
Kicks it off the field. Come on.
You gonna show it again?
My senior year, I had a Skisa ref hit me with one of these. You know, kid errant snap, he's running, clearly not a kicker.
Kicks it a millisecond before he tackles him.
And
You guys don't,
That's what they call, that's a terrible call. Yeah, he's running with the ball.
He kicked, yeah, but he kicked.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that he's going to kick it when he's running with it.
He's kicked.
It doesn't matter.
He kicked.
He doesn't get the same kind of protection.
He kicked, and then, what's the definition of kick?
Look at it in the rule book. He doesn't get that same kind of protection if he runs with the ball.
I don't know.
The defender doesn't have a reasonable
He
expectation that he's going
picked it
to
up,
kick
he
it.
picked the ball. Picked it up, and kicked it almost with the same motion. That's a toughie.
this says foul by R, kick advance by K.
Oh, no, that is a fumble. So the kick had ended, yeah. So that's a live one there.
So he can run that one back.
Yeah.
The kick had ended.
Yep. Yeah, he threw a beanbag and everything, so he had the kick ending.
Would you have, would you have had roughing the kicker on it? What else?
Better, because if this is into the game or something happens, that's one where you get a call from Charlie as well. What did you see on that? Was it but I know Garrett, he's trying to make it the standard that all the stuff you see on Saturdays and Sundays, but catch, possession, all that, it's vastly different, assessed differently than what we're seeing here. So did he possess that kick? Did he take a couple steps with it? Everything in our book would say that that was a possession then. Water bucket.
They're rough that kicker now. Right there.
So what category would put that in? Forcible contact to the body? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't, from this satellite view, I can't see if he got a piece of the ball or whatever, but that kicker got wrecked back there.
Fine, that's him, right? So,
Yeah, there was a flag on the play. It had this play.
They carried that over?
yeah.
No, they got a touchdown.
Yep. So what, foul by the non-scoring team?
Take that.
Water bucket. So we got just a mechanics slide on here. So
Back to that.
Yep.
Got roughing. The kicker, and they score, you gonna tag it on.
No. They want to keep.
You're gonna
same as
It would?
same as any of the other prior to a change of possession. That's what you're getting at? Where if it's during the return, then of course we could tack it on, but prior to a change, then we wouldn't. Yep, I'm on board with that. So
So I'm succeeding.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Can carry it over or they cannot?
Cannot.
you can.
Keep the score, don't they?
That's a
Yes.
problem for the change of possession.
Yes.
So they have to decline the penalty, right?
So that's not a carryover.
No, because they have to decline the penalty to keep the score. Am I wrong? That's fine.
We got a box of books there.
What we got here, guys? What do you got? We got different people, two different answers here. Can we carry over? Can we not?
I'm in Doug's camp. I think going through my mind's eye and taking the excerpt out that says prior to a change of possession, yada yada. Any even on a scoring play, foul, it must be declined.
Just out the pass. What's beyond you?
Water bucket. Yep.
That's the foul occurred prior to,
Or just change it.
prior to change of possession. Right. There was a fumble on that play, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's got about previous spot.
Yeah. So we would go back to the.
You couldn't bank that.
No.
Well, there was
No.
two changes of possession, right?
Yeah.
Both of them. And yeah,
Or the ball.
gotta.
You're covered.
Yeah, look it up, those guys. I mean, it's rule eight somewhere. Water bucket play. Know what you're gonna do in this situation, right? So if they come out in a water bucket, even if it's an apparent place where they would try a kick otherwise, like a try down, we get into our normal scrimmage kick mechanics, and you maintain position with all players in front of you. I think it's kind of redundant. We talked a couple weeks ago about how linesman, line judge mechanic now is to stay at or near the sideline. So that being said, don't let somebody stretch you out ever though. You can't.
So we're coming out this way. Are we gonna hold up the offense? For our people, I mean,
No.
I mean, that's penalizing the offense if we hold them up, get in position, right?
Well,
The line judge should stay on the line of scrimmage until they get into formation.
Right.
So, but one thing as a line judge, I've seen this so many times, those linemen very rarely are on the line of scrimmage. I always use some signal that shows that they're all off the line of scrimmage. And then after the play, I said, coach, you gotta get your players on the line of scrimmage. And they normally go into the normal kick formation. But once they run it, you've got to make sure you've got at least 5 on the line of scrimmage.
Right, no, my question is, are we gonna hold up the snap for our linesmen to get off, our line judge to get off the sideline
No.
to under the goalpost?
What he's saying is that they're in that water bucket, the line judge is on the line.
Sideline.
Once we
They
mark
have-
it ready for play.
Once they mark the ball ready for play and they move it, that line judge has got to get to under.
Right, so we're not gonna hold it up.
You should not. hold
Right.
that up.
Shouldn't hold it up.
That's my opinion, but I've had R's tell me to stand over the ball, do not let them snap that ball.
I would instruct you that.
You've got to use your awareness, right? If they come out in a clear water bucket, it's basically the formation that you saw that scored the touchdown. You know that there's no kicker trotting out, or maybe he is, and he's just in a non-kicking position at that point. Yeah, so we're going to take initial positions with what they give us. If they come out in kicking formation, then we're bolting to the uprights, but you just got to. Again, the 4th down or try downs, you can't take it off and just be like, all right, here's. He's got to get there. I would just say, when would I shut it down? Or if I see Rick next to the linebacker and hasn't made it. I mean, and that's just, your guys got to be in position. If they're trying to get there, and I know that's a disservice or, puts the offense potentially at a disadvantage. But if they've gone into kick formation, I mean, now it's just a try attempt. They get it right. But Yep, good. All right, so a ruling.
8-3, 8-3. 8-2-3, Article 3. If an opponent of the scoring team commits a foul other than unsportsmanlike conduct and or a non-player foul during a down in which there is a touchdown scored and there was a change of possession during the down, and such foul occurs after the change of possession, the scoring team may accept the results of the play and choose enforcement of the penalty. With that, we had a change of possession, but the foul occurred before.
You're right. Yep, good clarification, and knew I remember that somewhere, but thanks, Doug. All right, illegal snap. So the snap has to be a continuous backward motion. Kind of pairing some rules together here, but does it have to be between your legs?
No.
But you have to pause for a second. You put your hand on the bar, you just can't flip it. You gotta have your hand and then flip it.
So we talked about what makes a snap legal. So we know you can't have a hitch in it, right? You can't pick it up, then toss it out like that. I mean, no way to know what these guys are ruling here. I was going to say if he shoveled it to the other guy to his left, to the bottom of the screen, I was thinking that was maybe what was going to happen, but
Now, that's not legal snap and you kill it.
Yep.
yep.
He picks it up.
Yeah, he picks it up. Continuous motion. Not right on the ground.
Everybody good with that? So he picks it basically like a hitch or just a double clutch. So there goes our line of scrimmage official. He's getting over there. Yes. Looked like an interception. We'll move on. All right. Bust out some questions.
Oh, it says it's been deactivated. Where's that?
Doing a Kahoot and let me share it. Hang on.
Why is it deactivated? Going back to the part three big. There's a queue out there. Yeah. Everyone sends in. You don't get the same. It says a 7 system. All right, you ready? No. Do it, baby.
You're in.
Man, here's the thing.
Go back to it again.
Any idea, Rico?
It was going and like the way you did it the other time, it was taking a minute. It was going on. I don't want to.
You are screen sharing.
Yeah, you go. That's it.
Big, solution. 36. That's what he's
Who determines if a player's a back? Yeah, it's not sharing anymore. Sorry, people at home.
Kick down. Yeah, I got you. The line dress here. I never said it.
So I guess what he's getting at is that the snapper determines whether people are linemen, and your proximity to the closest player breaking the waist of the snapper determines if you're back. We know that no man's land, you can't have. When does a player no longer become a player?
Oh, your bar.
One answer, huh? Substitute enters and tells the player he's replaced. How many captains in game uniform may participate in the coin toss? This should be easy. What if they say I got 15 seniors and I want to take them to the numbers during the coin toss? You gonna let them do it?
As long as I don't see it, they're okay.
All right. It's 4, right?
Yeah, full round with us.
Yeah, it's not.
I only pick one, baby.
What determines if a player's the lineman? I gave you all that one. But you. Dark blue, right? Snapper. So it's helmet or foot, head or foot breaking the waist. Imaginary line drawn through the waist of the snapper. Snapper.
Oh, I wedge with.
Okay, 10-4-2 exception that's put in a couple years ago. So the basic spot may be at the option of the defending team, which would be R. The succeeding spot for fouls by K during a free kick or scrimmage kick down other than KCI when the foul occurs prior to the end of the kick, and K will not be next to put the ball in play. K fouls during scrimmage down. Option, accept play results, enforce penalty from succeeding spot. And I guess what would have said it wouldn't be during the hold down. The foul has to be during the kick play. If R has received it or running down the field, then of course we'd have different enforcement provisions. K blocking restrictions during a free kick. Rule 937. K cannot initiate contact block till the kick's traveled 10 yards, or K is eligible to recover a free kick, or R initiates the block in the neutral zone. So talked about it. K would be eligible to recover a free kick when R touches it. That would be the main thing in the neutral zone, or it's gone 10 yards and touched the ground. K blocking on free kick. So everybody's on side, it appears. So this is a foul that replay can create 100% from the booth, which is I think it just speaks to how difficult it is to call on the field. But so if they're not eligible to touch the kick, K that is, hasn't gone the 10 yards. I think in this case, the block is beyond the 10-yard mark. So you'll see it. I mean, it's kind of screwy that, it would be that far downfield, but still prohibited from doing that. What's the penalty for this? 5 yards. Blocking during a free kick. Yep.
5 ball, 10 yards.
10 yards.
Exceeding right back on. Not a read kick, right?
Nope, well, it could be. So that you could use 10-4-2 there. If R gets possession, they could tack it on from the end of the play, or they could have
K gets.
K re-kick. Or even if R gets it, they don't have to tack it on. They could make them re-kick for whatever reason. Free kick out of bounds. So there's 4 options. One is just taking it where it lie, right? Just where it goes out of bounds, do it. But 5 yards from the previous spot and re-kick, 5 yards from the succeeding spot. So we say from on a general free kick situation from the 40, the 31 through the 34 end up being important in that case where you would need to get a spot potentially. Got wings. I would just implore you, tell people on my crew, don't be standing on the pylon and trying to throw your flag up to the 28 or the 24. Doesn't matter. No, it's not a good look. If you know that it went out of bounds at the 12 or even the 12, throw it. The spot doesn't matter. I would say throw it up in the air, let everybody know you've got a foul, and move on. And 25 yards beyond the previous spot, we know that from the 40, that'll be the 35. And if it's moved from penalty, don't get twisted on that. Remember that it's 25 yards. If if we've got a personal foul or unsportsmanlike that we've administered and they're kicking from the 25, then get it at the 50, right? If they so choose, unless it goes out at the K48, then they can tack on 5 from that and so on. Out of bounds. Looking at some definitions here, but players out of bounds when he's touching anything that's out of bounds remains there until he's back inbounds and not touching anything out of bounds. And the ball, the same thing. Loose balls out of bounds touches anything, including a player or game officials that is out of bounds. Can read that. So both feet inbounds, 1 foot on the sideline when he reaches through the sideline plane. So prior to a change, there's no foul for R going at, there's no illegal participation considerations here. If his foot happens to be on the sideline when he catches it, then the onus is on K, and it's a free kick out of bounds. If he's got both feet squarely in bounds, then he's touched it in the field of play, so to speak. Good on that.
Touching out of bounds. He touched the ball and falls ground out of bounds.
He's touched it in the field of play.
He's touching it.
Yep.
One foot post. Well, if he doesn't have 1 foot out of bounds.
Give you a play that, I think I was in, National Federation, Roger Rabbit. or punt near the sideline, out of bounds, in the air. Aura intentionally goes out of bounds and touches the ball. Catches the ball. Who put it out? What put it out?
He's out of bounds, so he's gonna kick. He put it out of bounds. You get a kick out of bounds. Shape of the ball out of bounds.
The ruling is, it's a offsetting.
KOB and illegal participation.
Intentionally went out, touched the ball in and field, intentionally. And the kick was out of bounds. Free kick, I'm talking free kick, not a scrimmage kick. If he went out of bounds and the ball comes down, first foul is an out of bounds, kick out of bounds. But he intentionally goes out and touches. Okay, we have offsetting ball.
Good. And so gauging intent, right? I mean, the way I'm envisioning this play and the way we'll see it on a couple is that we've got a potential R returner receiver who's looking up in the air and making his way to the sideline. And he just is unaware at that point, happens to have a foot or, a little bit out of bounds or doesn't matter. Well, so Garrick has found us a couple plays. I don't think either of these ones we're going to watch are cookie cutter though. We're talking about, foot coming down at the same time as the touching and all that, but and it kind of looks like it touches there.
Only the referee is out of bounds.
Yep. So that with simultaneous touching, he's stepping and touching at the same time. I would call this a free kick out of bounds.
I thought it hit the white before he caught it.
It appeared so. So
Yeah, if he touched it, then it would just be out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, he put it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a foul, yeah.
so this is the one where they say
Here. That's pretty close.
so he's not out of bounds, meaning he's still inbound, still in the field of play.
Again. Look at it. He's in bounds, he's in bounds, he's in bounds.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
may the plays that
But he's not. That would be a kick out of bounds either way. Because he has to, once he touches the ball, he hasn't he's possessed it, but he's not in bounds to make it possession. He's caught it, but he was airborne when he caught it.
But look at this play.
So when he lands out of bounds. That would be a free kick out of bounds.
Very good.
Me too.
What is the difference on this one?
Because if he was in the air, he's in the air when he touches it. Well, now if his foot hits out of bounds first.
I don't know, I thought it straight in the air, it's left foot.
Looks like he's almost going into the end zone.
and these are again, these are tight, but again, you're either inbounds or out of bounds. If you judge that foot, that right foot was out before he touched it, kick out of bounds. If not, we've got it. It's dead.
See, to me, the ball was gonna go out of bounds. That's the stupid thing about touching it. Yeah. Let the darn thing go out of bounds. Yeah, right.
So no,
It's out of bounds.
yeah, no possession there. He's clearly out of bounds, right?
No.
His right foot in bounds.
Right foot is in bounds, so he's established in bounds now.
Back in, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up with the ball.
Back in.
Is that K is the question? Because if this is prior to a change of possession, A or K may not go out of bounds, whether intentional or not, and come back in. So
Unless he establishes himself.
No, A, K, it's that.
well, they can, but it's a foul, right?
The blue kick that, kick the ball, kick that ball, bro.
Hang on. Okay, so no foul there on blue, right? And even if he didn't, there's no no provision for R accidentally going out of bounds prior to a change. So ball placement, kick out of bounds. It looks like we're still at the near hash, rather the far hash here. We've got to play here in a second. So we know there's no option. You're going to get told at least 2-3 times this year that I want it on the right hand, I want it at position 1 or whatever. They don't get the option. Kick goes out of bounds. You bring it into the inbounds mark from where it went out. So yeah, spoiler alert. I done told you. I'm not sure. So yeah, it was moved by penalty. I guess somebody was offside or rather encroaching. So we kicked from the 45, right? So 25 yards in advance of that would be the 30. Yeah, re-kick though. So here we go after penalty.
Get it on the 30. Ooh, should take the 5-yard penalty from where it went out of bounds.
Yep. So went out the 28, 27. So that's what I was saying. That the 31 to 34 now becomes the 26 to 29, right? And so they get it up around here, and it looks like it's like our boys in stripes gave him the 35 and moved on.
Maybe that's what the coach.
So we've all seen this one. Just you got to have awareness when this guy comes in. Where does he come from? How long was he there? Nothing else. Clearly didn't participate. He's not even barely past the numbers whenever the freaking ball's sailing through. Let's call it the 5-yard non-player foul, and move on. Put it where you want it.
He would be a non-player, right?
I guess I'm not where this comes in. I reckon because it was a kick down, but I think we've got action against a player who's on the ground. Yeah, right there. So got to watch that. Player laying on the ground, obviously defenseless. Don't let players jump on him. I've seen a lot of that where linemen will make a good block up front, but then see buddy down and mash him. Our legal batting should be good. So So K gets it here. That Louis Biles.
Cause the one that batted it, the one that recovered.
Yeah.
It's the kicker, you know.
Yep. So this is a free kick, right? So our touching beyond has no significance or whatever. This would be K's ball, because they're in legal possession, and so there's only one place to take this illegal batting, right? We're going to back them up 10 yards and re-kick. If R recovered this, they've got two options, right? Or they have options. They can tack it on or replay the down. So that they had run into the kicker. I thought that was kind of a weak, maybe late hit out of bounds. Got a player still running north south, and he's barely a foot in the white and gets hit. But so we're gonna get both those right. So we'll take do them in the order of recurrence. One was live ball, one's a dead ball. So we'll take K up 5 yards and then back. I believe it'll probably still be half the distance back their way. That's tough. He's airborne, and you always say when players leave their feet, I mean the onus is on them a lot of times. But there was no plant leg, so I like running there. Kick catch interference are entitled to unobstructed path to catch kick. Fair catch signal not required if they are in position, and you've got to give them an opportunity to catch it. Prevented from touching a free kick in flight, in or beyond the neutral zone. So that's the 10-yard belt or beyond it. So if it's I was talking to somebody about this on the way over. If they got a kicker who's good enough to put a little height on it, send it 15 yards downfield, even if there's no R player in position to catch it, K cannot touch it until it hits the ground, right? And on a scrimmage kick, beyond the neutral zone, R needs to be in position. Otherwise, K can catch it, touch it, or whatever. The free kick neutral zone. And it's ignored if K is blocking into the ball, or if they're warding off a blocker. So penalty enforcement, they do have options. It's not just an automatic tack on from the spot where it was an awarded fair catch. That is, they can take it back to the previous spot and replay the down, or certainly choose the results of the play if R happens to get it well more downfield. Then we see that on some test questions, unicorn plays. Yep. Awarded fair catch. They do get ball placement. And you may not tackle a player who's made a fair catch either. It's kind of pet peeve. I've told you all that. Like it's not KCI if he's clearly made the catch, 1 second, 2 second, then gets blasted. We've just got a dead ball, personal foul at that point, right? And that's going to be a seceding spot. John was telling me about this play. He said, "Oh, that happened to Clemson." So just what I described. You got a ball that goes 10 or rather 12 or 15 yards downfield, still in the air. Whether or not there's a R player in position, just told you it's K may not touch it, and that's KCI. It'll be awarded fair catch in this case. Got a few KCIs or not. Save the Kahoot. We'll send those out. So fair catch. R player gives a valid signal. Signaling R player catches a kick beyond the neutral zone. Not a fair catch if caught in or behind the neutral zone. You can give a signal in or behind the neutral zone there if you're R, and it's still valid. It also kills the play once R possesses it anywhere. Free kick, R player gives a valid signal. signaling our player catches kick enter beyond the neutral zone.
Still, it's dead, but it's not a fair catch.
Not a fair catch, so no lateral placement and things that would come along with that. And no protection either. That would be it. So invalid, inappropriate signal. So, but again, we talked about that, the signals have gotten away from us, and we let them ride. If it's up here and it's one wave, lateral waving of the hand, I think it's, let it go. But after it's touched a receiver, and illegal signal, see these often where players got it, he hadn't given a signal yet. It's almost like he's waving to mom in the stands or whatever, running with the ball and it's freaking waving, which is does that make the ball become dead? It's good. Illegal fair catch signal? No. So yes, what would have said, right? Ball placement options, and if they perhaps wanted to do a fair catch kick. Permissible for him to shield his eyes. We said that pointing at the shoulder level below is legal. Any other waving motion, get away, which I think we've worked that out of the game. So two hands, if he would have just had one, that's a perfect signal. That's about what we're going to ask for on Friday nights, right? But yeah, doing it with two hands, not what the definition says. That'd be a foul for invalid. We'll just watch it one time. Appeared to be just a point, right? He kind of was using this arm to gain balance. I wouldn't say you go looking for invalid signals. But remember what happened here, how it got down there. Wasn't this like that was the Tua Kyler Murray game? See what he does. We got 2 slides left.
The lower guy stuck his hand up.
He was just pointing to the ball.
Number 87 down there, watch him.
The ball's touched the ground. Then we get a signal, right? Book explicitly defines that as an invalid signal. But it is dead, right? He kills it there. And invalid signal. Yeah.
18.
Yeah, so any player that signals may not, they're prohibited from, remember that was a test question too. What did it say? It said true or false. Players given a signal is prohibited from blocking for the rest of the down, but maybe the book says until the kick ends or vice versa. Y'all, yeah, till the kick ends, which, so if K recovers in or behind the neutral zone, the down may not end, but if we've got a signal and R catches it anywhere, then it would be the down. But yeah, the kick ends in case Charlie slides that in on us. So that's it. 153 slides, 2 weeks. Kept you a little bit over. Go USMNT. I know there's a couple missteps there. Sorry for not being totally on it, but I think we got it cleared up. Thanks, Doug, and thanks everybody for your input. And yeah, all good. Thanks.